Welcome back to Shapes 2. My name is Nilaus and we're continuing with our series here where we are going to be doing designs and progressing through the game of Awesome Shapes 2 in the Dimension Update. Today we're going to be transforming everything from a 8-lane system to a 12-lane system. So if we look at all of these designs here, they're all... Okay, this is kind of the early... Why did I zoom in on the wrong thing? Let's zoom in on something that's like the last thing we built. Let's take... There must be somewhere we built something out here. That one. Where do we have something built? I don't know. We have something built out here, like that one, for example. This is built in 2 levels. Right, so this is built in 2 levels. You can see all of these designs here, 2 levels, 2 levels, 2 levels. And what we need to do is make it in 3 levels. So if you look at this one, this is completely the same on level 1 and level 2, so it's easy to copy. This one's also easy to copy, but the problem will be the stacker here. The stacker doesn't work for copying because it's using 2 levels, so now it's going to be different when it gets to a 3rd level. So we're going to be doing that. The first thing, of course, is going to be unlocking the 3rd floor. So now we have unlocked, and what else do we want? Train capacity? Not really. Don't think there's anything. Ooh, roller coasters. Then there's nothing else we really want. So I'm going to set up a location that we have. Let's see, like this. Then we go back. And I think I had like a location kind of out here that was okay for just taking... I need 2 full shapes to stack on the top of each other. That just looks nicer. So we're going to be taking these 2 shapes. Yes, so these 2 shapes, I'm going to prepare them. And we're going to be doing... Just take this one. For example, this is our mining location. And then we're going to be copying and getting 1 more mining location. In order for us for that to work, we actually have to now go 1 more level up. There. So that goes out on the 3rd level, and then as we follow it, they go out. Level 1, level 2, and level 3. So this is now our metric. This will now also be a blueprint, and we're going to do the same thing up here. And then we're going to be dragging these in. Like that, and this one in here, and that will be where we're going to be building our design here. So how is this going to work? Well, it's going to be a little bit challenging, but I have an idea. It's of course an idea I've inspired by someone else, because every idea is always inspired by someone else. But I'm thinking you want to make it as small as possible, and I was thinking this is probably the smallest we can do it, like this. So what this would mean is that I would say, I'm going to get something in here, and that also goes in here. So that's the ground level. The out level is going to be like this. And then this highest level could be like this. And you go over here, and then from there, go into these 2. So that could actually be a really neat idea for sort of how little space it actually needs to take on the top floor. And if we use this metric here, then we can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how much we need. The cool thing about this design is that I'm using the ground floors, the 2 ground floors, exclusively. Oh, actually, let's build it like this. So that means that we have the entire 3rd floor just for routing. Then that's going to come in handy, I think. So what we need to do here is this. Our rule is the bottom level is going to be, or the one that comes in here is going to be at the ground level. So now we need to figure out how the hell are we going to get this on the ground level? Well, actually, we can just do this. So that's the first one. That's easy. The next one, I think we might want to jump this. But we might also not want to jump this. These 2, I'm going to leave that at here. And then I'm going to do it that way. There. So that's the first lanes in here. Then I'm going to take the first lanes, and they're going to be on top of this. That's going to be the next little challenge. This one will actually need to go over on the other side, I think. That seems reasonable. So this can go up and then go jump over to this location, and this will go, this goes out, and then you can actually go in here, you can go in here, and then it goes up there. That's one. Then the second one will go here. And then it'll go up and into that one. And this needs to be rotated then. There, there, and that way. And the other way. And this way. There we go. So that gets us there. There's going to be a little bit of an issue here with the leap over that location here because it's kind of overlapping. So we're going to have to deal with that. The other two are going to be equally simple, I guess. Like, again, we can draw it in like this. And this one, I guess we just jump over. And then... Okay, maybe... that's interesting. Here and here. And then jumps in and goes in. Let's do the same thing for this, just so it looks nice. Here. Good. So that also means that there will be some jumping over. Now, how are we going to get those out? I am just gracefully ignoring that problem for now, and we can deal with that later on. So now we need to get the second level. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now these levels, they need to go in, and they need to go on the bottom level of the second one. That's going to be here. That's probably the best location we can get it. And you're going to be doing the same. There. So that gets us in. And then the next one, these two are going to go up here and then in. And obviously this is not going to work, but it'll work for now. What I mean by that is that this is blocking too much. So we're going to have to change this to jumpers at some point, but we need to figure out when, what, why, how we're jumping. Then the next part is we're going to get these out here. They're going to go on the top floor for these two. I think that we can just do that rather easily. Like just go, you're going to be here and you're going to be there. That's easy. And then this goes over, in. And the last one also goes in. All right. So that was pretty simple. We still know that we don't have the output yet, which is going to be a little bit of a challenge, but let's ignore that problem for now. So this is going to be the third level, and they need to get all the way down to the last part. That's going to be a little bit more of a challenge. So let's try to figure out, oops, not how that's going to work. So that means they need to go, this will go on the top level. So on the top, you can just go into the one that's furthest away. And that is, this has to go into the top. So that's going to be like that. And that will be like this. Okay. So that's easy for this one. Then they're going to go across to do the same thing on the other side. That. And we have a massive amount of things that need to be jumped here. But we'll get that. Then we're going to get, you can then use this space, and then somehow you need to get in to the ground level. Could you go down there? Let's see. No. Could you go all the way down? Ooh, you can go all the way down. That's kind of cool. And that can go in here, which then needs to be drawn that way as well. All right. All right, let's do the same thing with the last one. And then 1, 2, and then in. And then go around. Yeah? Looks good. Let's go with the other one. That's going to be here. And that goes... What? No, this is the inner one. Okay, so you're going to go here and here. And then up. And around. Yes. And you're going to be here. And it goes out. 1, 2 down. Up here. And in. So now we have actually done all the inputs. And they work. So now it's just the output part we need. Here's the thing. These 4 come from the ground level. So they must go out on the ground level. That's going to be complicated. But the last 4 are going to go at the top level. So that's easy. So let's do the easy part first. That's going to be like this. There. That's easy. Kill that. And then this one. Like that. So that was easy. I can actually do this in a different way. That would be better. I would do it this way. Why? Because I'm gonna need this space. So the second level, they're coming in here. This has to go into the second level. So we can just look at it and go, well, actually, that doesn't seem that terrifying. Because you just go up and go straight in. Then all we need to do is get you. Right? So if we can just do a jump from, let's say, here to here. That would mean that could go out, and then I can jump that out. And it's out. Okay, so it's going to be the same thing down here. You're going to go up, in, and around, and then do a little jump, and get back and out. Right, so that's the top level, the middle level. Funny they don't have that. And then the bottom level. So that means these 4 have to go down here. There is not enough room on this level. Well, if we could sort of jump through all of this, then sure, maybe. Actually, can we? Oops. I wonder if these can just be jumped out on the side. They actually can. But then the question is, what about the middle one? Can that also jump? What if I do that? Then I'm going to do, you can go in here. You can go in here. And then that would go, works fine. And you would be jumping all of this. That works. You're jumping all of this. And you're jumping that. Easy. So that's ground level, middle level, and top level. And the only way we can really check this is if we build a little block here and get stuff inbound. And then build a delete box. Oh, not done. You can't build that anywhere except the ground floor for pretty obvious reasons. Wow. Here. And that one goes in. This is kind of a delete blueprint, just to make sure that things are keep flowing. Good. So now it should keep flowing. And if we look at the different levels, it still bothers me that this is not full. It seems like there's something missing here. So something is not coming in. Why is it not coming in? This is... Oh, this is now jumping over to that one. It's... Oh, right. Something is weird. That's the output. Okay. Right. What I should be doing now is... I think this one has to do like that instead of jumping. Yep. And then this goes in here also without jumping. Right? Does that seem correct? Then it goes down and in here and in here. That looks much nicer, doesn't it? They are all good. And it's actually a pretty neat design. It's not particularly crowded. Like the ground floor is pretty tight. This mid level is pretty tight. And the top level is, I mean, pretty decent as well. didn't even need to go out here, then I think I don't want to. I think this looks nicer. If you don't need to go... Let's go like this. That looks nicer, so we can see that they go... These four, and these four are the top level. These ones are the mid level. We can see it go in here. And these are the ground level, which somehow actually managed to jump through this area here. Nice. That is a pretty damn neat design. I know that there exists a design that is only using like this small tile and still doing 12 by 12, but it comes in from from the opposite sides, and I really don't like that. So I like this one because it's very clear that there's a main line and a side line, and that's the one we're going to be using. So now what I need to do is I need to start overhauling. Let's take one of them. Like, let's take this area here. I'm going to overhaul this so that, for example, this here, instead of getting only 8 lanes, then I'm actually going to try to get 12 lanes out. So that means this also has to be redesigned a little bit. We can actually do that now. If you look up here, then this one also has to be redesigned, but that's like minor thing. These are connected, and then they need to be connected from the ground as well. Yep, that's how we do that. That means all of these will have to be changed to that new design, that one. But not only that, but I also need to find 1, 2, 3, 4 more rows here, which is going to be a little bit tricky on this particular design. So it's going to be a whole lot of overhaul for this. And at the end of it, we'll have, if we look at our blueprint, dimensional update, 8 lane designs. All of this will now need to be done as 12 lane designs. The only one that's actually different is the stacking one. All the other ones are just basically adding another layer. But still, we need a new set of blueprints. Everything has now been updated to 3 levels, and we're ready to get it into action. You can see here, everything is good, and also our blueprints. Everything has now been done here. These are all, of course, available to patron supporters, and you can then just download them and get started. So, what are we going to do now? Well, it's going to be something yellow. And I think that most of the things are going to be somewhat things we have. The icons, though, are a little bit different because I had to, well, I had to make them again. So here, and then I'm going to be taking, that's the spike there. And let's see how quickly we can do that. Let's see. That is 180 degrees incorrect, and this is just a little bit incorrect. So that's incorrect, and this one is more incorrect. And then over to the new beautiful stacker. Lovely. And that's here. And it doesn't need color. Oh, it does. It does need color. So let's get the coloring here, and let's get the color mixer. It is here. That one, and then I might as well take this and get 1, 2 further out. And let's see. There. Oops. And for some reason there's some rails on the bottom level. There we go. Why do we do this? Well, because I know that I need to have an extra one here for getting stuff in for the next level. So that's easy. And the next one is probably less ready, but I think that they're kind of starting to get ready. So that's also fine. We're going to do this one. This is the knights thing. Oh, look at that. We have so many points. What do we want to get? Maybe train capacity? Yeah, that would be nice. Or we can also save up to just get, oh, this is 150, 180. So if we get 180, we get the max upgrade or everything. Let's save up for that one. We don't need anything right now. So here we're going to have a 2 level. Let's see. The bottom level is a cut for the circle and for the square. That one. And then we'll just have to rotate it. I'm going to rotate it each separate way just to see if that does anything. Yeah, they're both incorrect. There. It doesn't matter which way we rotate them, honestly. Let's rotate them like this. So we have them in the same corner, and that means counterclockwise and 180. That is... Ooh, counterclockwise is first. That's not good. And this one will then be consolidated in our beautiful new stacker. Look at that beautiful thing. Such a beautiful build. And it might even work. And that's going to turn green. So that's also not a problem. Here, green. And the green is down here. And then it needs to stack on top. And we're going to flip it so it goes up from the other side. And you will now go in here. That one. And the second level is going to be half of the wedge that is cut the side. That is the wedge is cut the side, and the circle and this. They're going to be. They're not going to be the same. Here. And this is correct location, top right hand corner. This one needs to be rotated one more clockwise. That's like this. That is. Ooh, yeah, that's the problem. It's not really clockwise. There. And clockwise, right? You're the correct location, you're the correct location. This one is 180 degrees. And then it's correct. And then it just needs to be merged. That is here. That one. That one. And no colors. Nope. No colors at all for this. There. And that should be the second one. And then, wow, that's a boring one we got up here. No colors. Oh, they've got the first one coming in. What is the part here? That is, first level is going to be just 2 squares. Okay, 2 squares. That's like this. And is it rotated correctly? Yes, it is. And then the next one. I'm assuming that this is probably not going to be like this at the end, but let's see. And this is the one we just did. So that is circle, circle, square, square, rotate clockwise like this. And where are they at? That is, need to rotate one counterclockwise, and this is perfect. So one counterclockwise here, and then stack it up. And goes in here. No, it is a little bit weird that there's no colors on this, but that should be the first ones. There we go. All 3 are completed. Plus we also have some operator level. This is the milestone we completed, and this is just chugging along and getting us a really disgusting amount of extra points. And these are also going to go here. And then we'll just go through another level, and we'll gradually get less and less detail about how this is done. But what we want to do here is we just want to see that things are actually working. So what we need here is, yeah, we've done this before. We've done most of it before because we just made everything so damn modular, which is absolutely gorgeous. There we go. That's the spike. That's the stars, and we need a wedge, which will be like this. And then we need a rectangle that's going to be like this. And then we need to rotate and rotate. And you are also, of course, need rotating. Oh, that was interesting. There. That one. So you're rotated correctly, and you are 180, and you are correct. Okay, so another 180 rotation over here. And then we do, this is important. That one has to be colored, but the other ones do not need to be colored. So we're going to get this colored, and that's going to be yellow color. So already here. That goes here, under, and then up on that side. And then we merge things together with our glorious new design. Like this. I kind of just prefer building them all like this. And then you're going to go in to that location where you're going to be merging it again. There we go. So that is the new design. I am going to remove anything we had in advance. And that should be, does it give us the sign? No, not yet. Right, over to the next one, to the knights thing here. Also, I just delete these because I was kind of expecting this to get a third one. Okay, yeah, okay, so this is actually interesting. That means what I need is I need to take all of this and just cut it out and put it one further back, like that one. That's going to get the green and the top. Let's just check that the middle layer here is the same. And then the bottom layer is actually going to be different, but luckily with the copy paste, it's super easy. What are we going to do? See, this is getting a little bit complicated because we need to cut it. I think that we're going to be compiling the whole thing into one. So we're going to get half a circle and half of that. Then we're going to be setting this together, and then we're going to cut it afterwards. So rotate counterclockwise and clockwise. They are now ready to be put on top of each other. That's going to be like, well, we'll do it this way. There. So now we have the right shape, but, oh, that's funny. Why is that a correct shape? That makes no sense why this is a correct shape. Huh. That's so strange. Maybe there's like a task somewhere that, oh yeah, there we go, that one. Interesting. I'm not going to make that, but what I will do is I will split side by side. We have that split side by side. That's going to be here. And yes, and now the right hand side is going to be turned blue. Easy. There. And then they're going to just be merged back together. Like that. And then we're going to be merging the other stuff on top. There, there, there. And blue. Oh, interesting. The green one is not really keeping up. And you go straight in. And you little train can go up here. And then hopefully that's going to be the knight's thing. And on the next one, what do we have here? We have the square that we already built. We're going to need something on top. So we're going to be building another one of these. And the bottom level, yes, it's fine. Okay, so we're going to get another one here, and that is going to be half a circle. I think you can manage half a circle. That's the front one. Half a circle. Is it rotated correctly? It somehow actually is. Good. So then it just needs to be turned blue. That one. And then go and merge it in. And those should all be correct. There was a little bit of a mishap earlier that I had forgotten to also add the third level here, but now it works. Next milestone's completed, and let's have a look. They just add another level, do some different coloring. That sounds a little bit annoying, but whatever. That's not even a big deal. It's the same as principle as that one. And here it's just kind of new shapes all the way around. I think we can do that. And that's another set of milestones done. They're not really particularly different, but hey, we're getting there. We're also getting an awful lot of points. So now we can do belt speed, we can do cutting speed, we can do stacking speed, and we can do painting speed. So all of those are now unlocked. We're now getting to the point where what we really need, what more do we really need? Are we train capacity? Sure. Transportations, haven't really found a use for them. We'll still get them. But hey, we'll just continue to chug along with the next set of upgrades. So the next milestone is almost complete, but one of them was lacking behind, and I was kind of curious why it was lacking behind. And this is this one. It's because we're actually using way too much resources here, or way too much coloring. So I was thinking, well, are we running out of colors? No, we're not running out of colors. So what we're running out of is actually transportation for the colors. So if I just do this, there we go. Then we have lots more transportation for colors. We might also do the same thing for shapes, but I do think colors is a little more fragile. So we'll do this here. Good. Then we might have deleted some, and we'll do the same thing for the other ones as we are completing yet another tier and getting into the final tier. But these definitely needed some extra juice so we can get more in here. Right. There we go. More. And so the final milestones are now completed. We do not have anything else except for now getting started on the pins, which will obviously be this thing we're going to dive into and design for next time around. So next time it's going to be pins. But today we've completed a really cool design for this one. Our stacker, a new cool stacker has been developed, and also every single blueprint has been upgraded to 12 lanes. So enjoy that. If you are a patron, just download that. If you're not a patron, then it's basically the same. The only thing that's really different is the stacker that we just built on camera here. So you're not missing out on anything. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Until then, take care and stay effective.